no matter what they decide and how they decide to carry that out, we're going to work with them. We're going to help them enforce it.
In a developing story, we are hearing from Green Country school districts on their plans if ICE were to raid schools. Now, we first told you yesterday that State Superintendent Ryan Walters says he plans to work with the Trump administration to enforce immigration policies. News Channel 8's Tanya Motorzitsky is live with the fear some Tulsa Public School Board members have for their families and students. Tanya.
Brenna, I spoke with Tulsa School Board member and Vice President John Croissant, who says since the holiday break and students returned, they have lost nearly 100 students. Now, Tulsa Public Schools cannot confirm if that's because of immigration status, but John Croissant wants to ensure immigrant families, before we lose any potential more families, that your students are safe at school.
30% of our students are Hispanic, close to 35%. We've seen a reduction in the number of students just since the Christmas break that have unenrolled.
Tulsa Public Schools Board member and Vice President John Croissant shares with me the concerning amount of students no longer in school.
We've had almost 100. I don't have the exact number, but I know that we've seen a small drop-off.
He says the reason worries him.
We believe a lot of that is because of these threats against not just families, but children, and it's not okay.
Just to be clear, according to the district, they do not have an exact number of students that have switched or why they've switched, and they don't ask for immigration status. Those threats he's referring to are from the Trump administration's plans for mass deportation and recent announcements to have Immigration and Customs law enforcement raid schools, something State Superintendent of Public Instruction Ryan Walters told News Channel 8 First earlier this week that he plans to support.
If President Trump sees fit as there's illegal immigrant population there that needs to have enforcement to remove them from the schools, absolutely, we will work with him to make sure that he's able to carry that out.
As of Friday afternoon, Walters doubling down on what he said, saying in a mass email to news stations, "We want to ensure that deported parents are reconnected with their children and keep families together." These threats have made Tulsa immigration lawyers like Lorena Rivas busy since Inauguration Day.
Absolutely. We've been so busy. We can't keep up with phone calls.
She says this has not been the good kind of busy.
We like the busy where we're helping families stay together. We're helping people get lawful status here to come out of the shadows. So
she says families should not worry about ICE knocking down schools' doors.
A Supreme Court decision established that a person or a child who's undocumented has the right to education. Just because ICE wants to enter these places, they can be denied entry. They still need a warrant signed by a judge.
Croissant says students do not have a way to show their immigration status if ICE were to come to TPS.
We are not allowed as a school district to ask about the immigration status of any student.
But if ICE were to show up at TPS schools.
And so Tulsa Public Schools is going to follow the law, which is we are not going to be asking for citizenship status, and we are going to teach every single student. We're, number one, going to keep them safe, and number two, we're going to focus on outcomes. If that kid comes into the door at Tulsa Public Schools, they will be safe.
Now, even though most students don't carry an ID until they get their driver's license, Rivas is reminding folks who are even adults that if you are in the process of gaining status, to make sure you carry around your submitted application just in case. And for those who have already gained their status, carry around your green card. Now, also, if you would like to see the full statement from Tulsa Public Schools that they just sent me about 20 minutes ago, it'll be on K2L.com on this story. Live, Tanya Motorzitsky, News Channel 8.
Important reporting, Tanya. Thank you. And Broken Arrow Public Schools says that they already have protocols in place for law enforcement visits, including verifying identities of law enforcement officials. In a statement, the school district says that won't change, adding they always require proof of legal documentation. Officials noting part of the process includes notifying parents or guardians if there's an interaction with law enforcement officials and their child is involved. The district says they are still working on creating some age-appropriate talking points for students. And Owasso Public Schools saying officials are reviewing the recent executive order regarding sensitive locations and that they've actually been in contact with Homeland Security to get further clarification. They say staff are prepared to address sensitive situations with discretion and in a manner that protects the safety and privacy of everyone involved. Noting if there are any undocumented students in the district currently, they are treated with the same dignity and respect as every other student. Oklahoma House Democratic leader Cindy Munson is sounding off on comments made by State Superintendent Ryan Walters. Munson says it's Walters that doesn't understand his, quote, job and the oath to uphold the Constitution, which guarantees free public education for all children in our state.